Welcome. I'm going to tell you in this video how you can get rid of road rage, okay? So you're going to want to stay tuned. This is going to, and by the way, not just road rage, but it'll also help you lower your blood pressure and be healthier and happier and live longer. Now, I can't give any kind of medical advice. You know, if you're on blood pressure medicine or anything like that, keep going to your doctor and getting checked up on things like that. But, you know, there's some things we can do to handle road rage. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, first of all, it might keep you out of jail. Second, it'll help you get along with your people that are important to you a lot better. And it'll make you a safer driver, which will also help lower your insurance rates over time. Okay, so this is one of these things that's a really valuable gift for yourself and for those that you love and care about. What a lot of times people will do is they'll feel powerless in some other public situation, so they hold it in. You know, they're fighting traffic to work, and then they're grumpy all day at work, and then they're fighting traffic back home, and then when they get home they scream at the wife or the husband or the kids, or they kick the dog or whatever. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. And then, you know, once in a while somebody will just explode and they'll say, you know, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, I don't know what came over me, that just wasn't me. Well, yeah, it was. But the thing is, though, they didn't realize it. So there's something that is really cool that I learned that's helped me a lot in a bunch of other situations that also happens to work really well for road rage. Now, road rage might mean different things to different people. Like if somebody cuts me off and they almost cause me to have an accident, if I blurt out, you know, a curse word or something, to me that's not road rage. You know, I say what's on my mind with my windows rolled up and they can't hear me anyway, and then, you know, I say it and get it out of my system, and then it's over with 5 minutes later or less. Okay, well, we want to show you some things so you can do whatever road rage means to you. Like some people, you know, they're so proper or whatever that they hold everything in, and then they go to sleep at night with their blood pressure through the roof. It's like when I was a kid, I used to laugh at my uncle because he'd go to sleep and he'd grind his teeth in his sleep because he was so angry. Like, why is he doing that? And it seemed out of character, but there are some people that are actually ruining their health that way. This is a real simple drill, though, to get rid of road rage. Now, first of all, you want to calibrate on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being, you know, barely bothers you, to 10 being just ready to explode, you know. And so you calibrate on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry are you? Or, you know, most people at that point, if they're near 10, they don't say angry. They're like, I'm pissed off at the blankety blank blank. Okay, so figure out and use your words, your emotional words, because you got to access the emotion in order to flush it out of your system. Okay, so you access on a scale of 1 to 10. There's a couple reasons for this. One is people will sometimes do something, and then they'll do the drill and it's a success, and then they're like, well, I don't know, I wasn't upset, you know. And so you do it as a calibration to prove to yourself that the drill actually works. The other thing is, some people that hold anger in a lot and keep it to themselves, they might think they're at a 3 or a 4, but when they start to do the exercise to get rid of the emotion, all of a sudden it might open up the floodgates, and then all of a sudden they feel overwhelmed with it. So you want to keep that calibration so that you can go back and do this drill again if you need to. And it's sort of like, you know, how often do you do it? Well, how often do you go to the bathroom? As many times as you need to. And then when you're done, you wash your hands. Well, it's the same thing with your emotions. You flush them out as often as you need to. And emotions are good. Anger is good in some contexts. But we want to give you control over it so that you don't have to suffer from road rage, and you don't have to, you know, have your kids wondering why you're in jail instead of home for dinner or whatever. Okay, and so you can drive more safely. You know, some places, you know, road rage escalates. You don't want to get shot over something stupid. Okay, so scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your rage or anger or whatever you want to call it, feeling of pissed off? Now, imagine you can just see a big ball of whatever that is up there, and you reach up with your fists and act as if you can grab a hold of it to strangle the life out of that anger, and you're just grabbing onto it for, you know, like you're trying to, you know, tight-fisted. And then you got your feet about shoulder width apart, and you go, I own this anger, and you just pull it down. Imagine you can pull it down, okay, and off to the side of your body and bend over and pull it down and past the outside of your ankles. Okay, now obviously if you've got some sort of back injury or whatever, you would have to adapt the drill a little bit. But the basic drill is, I own this anger. And you do it at least 3 or 4 times. I own this anger. Okay, and notice that the anger starts to get expelled. It's a drill from energy medicine called expelling the venom. And it's a way of getting anger out of your system. Okay, now notice if you need to do it again. You might need to do it a couple more times. Okay, and so you do that expelling the venom, and then calibrate if you've got it down from wherever it was. And that's a real good drill. It'll help you. You know, I can't give medical advice, but it helps lower your blood pressure because it helps get rid of that anger. Now, I used to think that you had to do that drill really loud and just scream at the top of your lungs. If you have the luxury of being able to do that, go for it. But see, you know, I was living in an apartment and I didn't want to get evicted, and I also didn't want the neighbors to think I was nuts and call, you know, for the people in the white truck to put me away. So I would go, I'd be like after work or something, or I'd drive out of my way and I'd go find, you know, go south of town or wherever and find an exit ramp where there wasn't any traffic, and I'd get out of my truck and I'd do the I own this anger at the top of my lungs. But if you can't scream where you're at, like you say you're in the parking lot at work on your lunch break, or you got neighbors close by, or you don't want to wake up your kids, you can just do it with the emotion in your voice and do it with a lower voice. I own this anger. And then expel the venom. I own this anger. And you'll start to feel, you might start to feel a rush of heat, but then you'll start to feel and notice a cooler sensation as you start to eject that. Now, people who are chronically pissed off, and these are people, and it's not, you know, these are not necessarily bad people, but they're people who are go-getters that are action-oriented, that go get stuff done, and they're in a hurry to get things done. Those type of people will really benefit from that drill because it'll clear your energies of the anger so that you can focus on where you want to go. Now, obviously, you don't want to blow out anger that helps motivate you to get where you want to go in life. You know, if you're angry at the way you're being treated at work, what you want to do is get a plan to go find a better job or whatever. But you don't want to take these things onto the highway when you're driving. Okay, and you don't want to hold up your road rage till you get home and let it out on your wife or kids or husband or whatever either. So you want to take care of things so that you can segment your goody much, free up the energies, okay, that would be holding you back, so that you can go express how you feel towards the people that you like and appreciate. Because, you know, you've been there probably just like I have. You tend to take things out on the people you really care about because it's kind of safe, or so it seems. But over time, those things put barriers between people's relationships. So this is a way of helping to improve your relationships, to get rid of the anger in your system so that you can drive better and more safely. Okay, and we've got some other things that we'll go over here. We've got a few more techniques that will show you how to do that you can actually do while you're driving. Okay, and we'll cover that for the people that have the DVD. Okay, so if you have the DVD, I'll see you in the next part of this video. If not, get yourself a copy of the DVD and I'll see you there.